started?
Well, it's great. First of all, we started everything later, so we're used to a month, 4 or 5 years ago. Of course, we've already been playing for 2 or 3 weeks, so it seemed like a long time before you get to open up. The NCAA's changed the rules so much, but I think from the long fall practice we used to have a short one. Now we have a long one, and then you have a short preseason in the spring, so it really changes everything the way you set it up. But the players are very excited. We got a lot of question marks right now, just like you do just about any time early in the season.
Jim, can you go down from catcher through your lineup a bit to what you got, what you don't have?
That's a good. Then now we'll start with our question marks when you say that. behind the plate, of course, you lose Yasmani, and they said, if you got anybody to replace Yasmani, of course we don't. You don't lose, in my opinion, the best catcher in college baseball, and immediately bring a guy in that's going to replace him. You got another guy in, but the other guy's got to get better around that position. You got David Villasuso and Roland, the freshman, and those guys to me are head-to-head right now. I don't know which one of them's going to end up starting all the time. So both those guys are battling for behind the plate. At first base, we've got, again, basically it's going up to who hits. It's an offensive position, but whether it's Ronnie Rodriguez or Cade Kruger or Brad Feger. Feger is a freshman. Kruger to transfer from Southern Cal. And again, no one's just really ran away with either one of those positions and saying, hey, I'm the first baseman, I'm the catcher. So we have question marks, and those guys are going to be answered. Those questions will be answered throughout the season. Second, Michael Broad's going to play second, and Perez is short, Martinez at third, DeVos in left, Melendez in center, and whoever hits in right. The other outfield is what it turns down to, whether it's Chance Mack or Dale Carey or Polias is hurt, so he's out. He hasn't practiced any this spring. He hurt his shoulder, so he hasn't swung a bat one time or done anything. We've even been working Villasuso some in right field and Ronnie Rodriguez some in right field. We've got to have some offense on the corners in the outfield, and then whoever hits will be DH. And so it kind of goes around the lineup. But we got a few guys that we know we feel pretty confident with. I guess 5 guys that did go be playing this position, but the other 3 positions are kind of wide open right now as far as that's concerned.
And with Chris Woods, do you think you're going to get him back this year, or?
I don't know. He's very questionable right now whether he'll be back or not. I don't know. He's trying very hard. He's doing rehab. He hurt his shoulder in preseason, and he hasn't done anything this spring with our team.
That's a big loss, obviously. He was a second leading hitter last year.
Right. One of our top hitters, and hit the middle of the lineup, but he's. I don't know. He hasn't done anything, so and he can't swing a bat. I mean, he can't swing off the tee right now. So he's trying. It's his 5th year. So if he was young, you might say, well, let's have surgery. But he wants to play this year, so he's trying to do the rehab and trying to get ready. Pitching again. Brad Rosinski is going to start Friday night. A freshman from Florida Christian, and the reason why is because he's thrown by far the best of anybody in the fall and the spring. He's given up 1 run in the fall and spring pitching, and he's going to pitch opening day. And I don't know, he was 6'8" player of the year, pitcher of the year, so I mean he's good. And he was Florida Christian's good. EJ Incanosa is going to be our Saturday night starter. He was a freshman All-American last year, and he's got great stuff and improved a lot during the year last year. Whaley is going to start on Sunday. So that'll be our rotation for this weekend. And in the bullpen, we got Miranda and Sam Robinson and Adam Sargent. He's going to be the right-hander right now. Salas could be, Javi Salas could be in that position also to do it, or he may be our 4th starter. He's pitched well enough to be our 4th starter or do that. Miller is having some tendonitis and hasn't been pitching, and so I would say opening weekend he probably will not pitch.
Are you closer to one of those guys?
Miranda's the closer. He's a closer last year. He's a closer again this year. But he's he can do either one. But for us, we need him to close, and he doesn't. It doesn't matter to him as long as he pitches.
It seems like there's obviously, the story is if you come out and compete, you're gonna play, you're gonna start, and it's open competition everywhere.
Well, you're right, and we try to find the 9 best hitters and find a place for them to play. But you can't always do that. But because sometimes maybe in a certain position you don't have one of the 9 best hitters. But the fact is that you try to figure out a lineup. You put your best hitters and your best defense together to make it the best team. And in a rotation, where our pitching, you're looking at, right now. I mean, JDR sitting down. We're talking about starters, but we're talking about the closer to set up guys. Okay, in the sixth inning, we have a right-hander to get us to the bullpen, and we know we have two good left-handers, Robinson and Moran in the bullpen, but we don't have a proven right-hander, especially without Miller. We thought Miller might be that guy in the bullpen. So, but a lot of teams have question marks. We lost a lot of guys last year, in particular in pitching, and we got crushed in the pro draft more than any time I think ever in the history for me as a coach. So and it was all late. We lost 7 guys last weekend.
I don't recall you being this inexperienced with your starting staff. You usually have one guy coming back or a couple of guys, whatever.
You're right, and Whaley didn't pitch this summer, didn't pitch much this fall, so he hasn't pitched as well as he did last year, but we know he can pitch. But Brad's pitched outstanding, so I don't have a problem saying a freshman starting opening day. And it's probably the first time I've ever had a freshman, for sure, Miami start opening game. A lot of freshman position players, but I don't think a freshman pitcher ever beat number 1 opening day.
Jim, what's your strength? Is it team speed? Is it defense?
Well, I think, we have good speed. We have a lot of good speed in the lineup. I think that, ultimately our pitching is going to be a strong point. And I think we're solid defensively. We can, if you got Melendez in center and DeVos in left, and if we wanted to, we could put another center fielder right. Or so your outfield could be as good as it's ever been. And I think Harold Martinez, the thing he's improved most on is his defense. At this point, he's playing a little bit deeper. He's reading the ball better. The best thing he does is come in after the ball. So he's trying to give it a little bit more time to react. Steven Perez is one of the better shortstops in the country at shortstop. Michael Broad is being converted right now. He's more of an offensive second baseman in my mind. And we got to get somebody to hit and play a little bit of defense at first base. And you're DH'd, and you kind of got the lineup behind the plate. That guy's got to be solid defensively and be a leader that can do that. And Shane Rowland's grown up in baseball. I mean, his father's with the Yankees. He played here. His dad won 2 rings here. His dad played numerous years of professional baseball. He's been in a pro game. So Shane's grown up in a park. So he understands the game. And David Villasuso, now is his junior year, is a talented player. But he hadn't played much because he has money. When you got Yaz money in there, you're going to ride him hard and let him play. And he did. He played, just about all the games. He's fresh, his last 2 years in particular.
What do you expect from Broad? He had a pretty good freshman season, was bouncing around the diamond. What do you expect from him?
Well, I think Broad could be our best hitter, maybe. He can hit second or third in the lineup, and I'm very comfortable saying that might be where he hits. Melendez is an outstanding player for us offensively and defensively. But Broad might be our best hitter. And, of course, Harold's our best power guy. Probably hit 4th right now. And then Zeke or Steven Perez may hit 1 or 1-2 in the lineup. Which we can put some pretty good speed out there if we want to. And like we did the alumni game, we started 2 really good runners, and with Zeke and Perez and Melendez in the 3rd spot. All those guys run 6'6", 60s and above, so they can really run. So we put pressure, and I think that's going to be something that's more important this year because of the bats. The ball's not going to jump like it did before, so you're going to have to hit more line drives and bunt more and do some of those things. It's going to be some lower scoring games.
Jim, how about, I was going to ask about the way you ended last season. Does that inspire these guys a little more? It kind of fell apart at the very end.
I don't even hear these guys talk about last year, and it's kind of put it behind you. And I haven't talked to them about it. It's disappointing we don't go to Omaha. No question. And we've a few times since I've been here we haven't gone to Omaha, which is not to say only a few. So we just got to understand we got a lot of our guys here working out with us. Your John Jays and Yasmanis and Gutierrez and Gabby, and there's so many of these guys, and all of them played in Omaha, and that's all they talk about too. So that's a constant conversation around this program with these players and the past players, and our past players are very tough on our team. To be honest with you, they're very critical if they're not doing something that they think they should be doing to get ready to go to Omaha, and that's a good thing. But they're tough on our guys, and they're tougher, and they think that the world's changed since they played here. They always do. It's always been like that for my whole career. But the guys come back. Been some really good players, some major league guys, Yonders, and different people that are out there working with our guys, which I like. We've been out there working out with them.
How about Rutgers? I know I asked you before, but can you tell us anything about Rutgers?
Well, we got their starting rotation. They're going right, left, right. Their closer last year, who had a 1.8 earned average approximately. They made him their number one starter. He's no longer a closer. And so he's their ace, and he's 6'6" or something, big right-hander, throws hard. So he'll be good that opening night for sure. But Fred Hill at Rutgers does a great job. And 90% of his guys are from New Jersey. He recruits those guys right from home, and he's got a mentality of a football coach. Those guys come out wide open, and Fred's a very energetic guy that's just been there a long time, and actually was a football coach, the head football coach at Rutgers, and the head baseball coach at the same time, a long time. That tells you how long he's been there, but he does a great job with them, getting them ready to play, and you know that they're going to be fundamentally sound. You know that they haven't been on the grass. They've been taking ground balls in the parking lot at best, and they've been freezing to death trying to practice. And yet you're going to come out and you're going to see them. No matter how cold it is for us, they're going to be in short sleeves working on their tans and feel great. But they're going to play hard. They're going to play hard. They're going to get after it. I've been playing them many years here at Miami and at Georgia Tech. I think it's a great team to play to get you ready for the ACC schedule.
I know you can't speak in specifics, but hypothetically speaking, if there was a high school kid out there that wanted to maybe come here and play two sports, football and baseball, would be open to that?
Yes, absolutely.
And I know in the past you've had some guys do it, so how does that relationship work?
It's great. I mean, I've talked to Coach Golden, and in fact, I'm waiting on another call right now. We've got a commitment out of a two-way guy that's really good that I feel very good about us playing both sports, and we've already talked about working together, and it looks like to me, as much as ever, we're going to have that happen. And so I think it's going to be a great relationship.
Why do you support guys playing two sports?
Why do I?
Yeah.
Well, sometimes that's the only way you're going to get these guys. Even though this one kid that I'm referring to, which I can't talk about his name, committed to us first, and now he's made a decision he's going to play football too. And and that's great. If it helps both of us, the advantage for us is the fact that he'll be on football scholarship. The disadvantage is he won't be here at fall practice and all the time, but you would expect him to go play summer baseball and be here as much as he can, and I've had a few guys do it over the years, and if he can help both of us, there's been some great players that play two sports in colleges nationwide, and so I think it's great. It's great for both of us.
Let's see, you had what? You had T.J. Prunty, right? You had Philip Buchanan, I think, did it.
Bill Buchanan.
Any others come to mind? Or?
Yeah, we had Dan Smith.
Yep,
We
that's
had,
right.
trying to think of all the guys. We had Kennard Lang.
That's right.
Kennard Lang, my bodyguard. and so we've had a few guys over the years. Yeah, but and I like it, but. And sometimes a couple of them, they've been up. Smith and Prunty end up signing pro baseball contracts, and the other two signed pro football contracts. So it's worked out good for both of them, and so I like that. And there's been some great players, over the years that play different positions.
Jim, just one other question about Broad. Is second base his best position?
I think second base is Broad's best position for his future, and he does too. Mm-hmm. So he's got to work very hard to learn how to get that. He's still making a few mental mistakes on where to be at in cutoffs or those type things, that bunt situations that he's going to be learning. He's going to make some mistakes early. And, Steven Perez has got to help him. It's funny to say that, but Steven's out there all the time, and you're working as a group, as a team, and he knows where he's supposed to be because that puts him where he's supposed to be. So they got to talk and help each other out, and he's just got to continue to improve there because we know he can hit. He's going to be an offensive guy.
Just one other question for me. Kruger, can you talk about him, what you expect from him, and what kind of player was it? I know he comes from a kind of baseball royalty, but as far as what you expect from him?
Cade is a big guy, 6'6", right-handed hitter. That was a shortstop in high school that got hurt his freshman year at USC. His dad was actually the coach at SC, and he hit 280, I think, with 9 home runs in the pack, which is a very good conference. He ended up having surgery, and this fall he didn't have a great fall, but I think he couldn't throw, and he was trying to come back from that, and I think it affected his swing. I don't think we at the University of Miami have seen Cade Kruder and what he can do. He was ranked one of the top 20 players in high school, out of high school, and when he went to SC. So we haven't seen that ability because he's still not totally healthy. He can't throw as well as he needs to throw, and I think it's probably affected his swing too.
How was it that he got here?
Well, his dad was the head coach and was let go. And when the new athletic director come in, within 2 weeks, he made a decision. So I don't know what the deal was there. But he was let go, and at that point, his dad, who I've known for a long time, his dad played for 9 different major league clubs. He was a catcher, so I've known his dad, and particularly when he played with the Dodgers. But felt like it was better for him not to go back to SC. So we talked. It was late when that happened, so we were able to get him in, and then applied for a waiver with. We felt that he would get the waiver, which he did because it's something that's happened before, to make him immediately eligible. So it happened like bam, bam, and within a week it all went down, and he's here.
He could be a power guy for you.
He's got big league power. He's got to cut down maybe on his swing a little bit. But these bats affect those guys too. You're not going to see a guy hit. You're going to see home runs cut in half, in my opinion. You're going to see them cut in half this year from what we hit last year. So now you've got to make a decision. Is it more important to have a home run hitter or a guy who can run and score runs? They can run and play defense. So, it's going to change. It's going to change my thought process, because if a guy's only going to hit 5 home runs, then I'd rather have a speed guy that's going to run and score runs and play defense. Because speed's the one thing you got on offense and defense. No other tool. That's one tool that goes both ways.
Okay, I'm out of questions.
Good. Yeah. He got them all for me.